this one was over so fast. The fast... That's not a yay. No, it was the fastest game on the second stage of groups here. Birds, Kazu, and Jenkins were all here. We're all going to talk about this game. Maybe even longer than the game itself, Purge. Can you believe that?
It's not going to be hard. I mean, they went high ground at 20 minutes. We can easily mess around for that long.
Yeah, we can.
No doubt. I mean, their grouping was better this game. I guess they had a Beastmaster, so that's inherently going to make your hero stronger. Huskar hits an earlier timing as well. On top of that, and Monkey King also is like a pretty good early to mid game carry if you want to make him so. And their lanes went great, so yeah, it was a smashing. They did do the Shadow Demon rotation mid that you talked about, Kazu.
Yeah,
that was helpful.
Didn't do much apparently.
I mean, I'm sure it did something. It's just that like they were just always behind in net worth no matter what. So they're just being like out efficiency.
They tried, and I feel like they needed to make this move, but even then it wasn't easy. They're losing lanes against Monkey Huskar. Even the Beastmaster lane, I'm not sure if Gaben was supposed to win that one against CK. Maybe because it's a +5 silencer, it makes it a bit harder. But they won 3 lanes. They have a lot of tempo in their draft. I also really like that the Ratio had an early Orb of Venom into Orb of Corrosion. He was like all over the map. Then Echo Saber, Desolator, speeding up the game even more. And I have a quick question. Do you guys know how many denies the Gaming Gladiators cores had together at minute 8?
Minute 8.
The 3 cores combined. How many denies?
I will guess last so I can do it strategically.
Okay.
700.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
do the math.
6. I was gonna say 699. No, I remember
denies, right? I said that correct.
Monkey King had a lot. It was I'm gonna guess like 20. Oh no, it's gotta be more than that. Like 35.
I'm gonna guess like 60.
You should
60?
guess 33 or 35. You
55.
It's somewhere between 20 and 35, I think.
55.
Can I do a real guess?
Okay, do a real guess, idiot.
What was your guess?
35.
30. What was yours?
No, I'm waiting for you.
You said 60.
No, 55. I changed it.
It's
55.
55. I'm gonna go 54, Kazu.
There's no way.
No, come on, do a better guess than that.
Yeah, dude.
Stop cheating.
50.
There's no way.
You can't
He said
shoehorn
700.
me.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't
There's
make
no
it
way.
move.
No, you're disqualified.
50?
Yeah.
Shiva wins. It was 50.
Seriously?
They had 50 denies at 8 minutes between their 3 cores.
That's
believe that.
insane.
50?
Yep.
That is insane.
They had
I can understand a Huskar.
I knew that, of course.
And a Monkey King, I guess.
They had like 17, 17, 16 at minute 8. They all had
That's
like
crazy.
45 CS each with 16 denies nearly each.
That's so many.
Now, here's another question. If there were 50 denies, how much XP is that they lost?
You don't know that
Well,
because
it
you
depends
don't.
on
it's
melee
creeps.
range.
Let's say it's melee creeps.
Yeah, how many of those creeps were denied out of experience range?
I have the answer.
No, you don't.
Pretend you do.
Very high.
6. I don't have the answer, but you should guess anyway. Because
Do you even know how much experience melee and range?
57 XP.
What about ranged? I don't actually know.
We don't count those.
65 XP.
They
We
lost
don't count
like
those.
1400 XP.
1400. What?
All right, how
1400. It's 50% is for a deny.
Yeah.
50 times 50
It's
is
2500.
2500 divided by 2
That's 1250.
is 1250. That's very close, Kezu. I don't know why I'm speaking to you in this tone.
Idiot. Oh, you're so stupid. Wait.
No, I didn't say that. I just had that tone.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just happens.
That just happens.
That's
This
right.
was such an outclass, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even close.
Like-
there's not much to talk about. They just lost all.
They lost
3 lanes.
everything.
Yeah,
The
it's like-
draft, the game, the lanes. Done.
What I'm curious about is like, is this strategy of banning out their flexible 4 heroes or
And
flexible
all
support?
their supports.
Is that going to translate to other teams? Are other teams going to be able to look at this and be like, oh, Beast Coast looks easy. You just have to ban these heroes and then they're not going to be able to chaos you. But you also have to beat them, like by all means. But I feel like there's at least like 2 other teams that can replicate the strategy and make Beast Coast look like they shouldn't be in the second group stage.
Yeah, but it won't work all the time because surely at some point Bisco's going to realize, well, wait a second, we got to pick our supports first phase.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe. I mean, I think
At least one, yeah.
I think it's in this game, it's a little different. It's because they got the counter picks. It's like, with the second pick Kunkka, with other teams, it's like, is this a offlane Kunkka? Is this a support Kunkka? Is this a carry Kunkka? And with Beast Coast, it's like, no, it's a mid Kunkka. It's a second pick Kunkka that's mid, so that means they can get the Huskar early, which means they can also counter pick with the Monkey later on into the game when also they know that that's going to be a Doom offlane or whatever. Like, with Beast Coast, it's that they're easy to read if you ban out the pivots. And I think the best place to a very easy place to punish teams that are easy to read when they can't pivot is laning stage, because you can snowball the whole game from that. However, if that game did go to like 40 minutes or something, and we talk about these counters, Monkey King, Huskar, who gives a shit about Huskar in the late game? You know, it's like a Kunkka is just as strong, if not stronger, in the late game with his water park agonyms and refresher and all this crazy stuff. Like, that's a totally different story. So it's only teams that are like really good at pressuring in the laning stage, and Gaiman is like arguably the best team at
one
laning.
Of the best.
One of the best, top 3 at laning.
Doesn't getting a BKB on Huskar just negates the water park anyway, so it's not that big of a threat anyway?
Nah, dude.
The water park lasts more than 6 seconds, Shiver. Come on.
You get a sheep, it like lasts so long. There's like all sorts of other water flying around. There's like the Kunkka.
I feel like Game
BKB is pretty good against water park.
They would have won this game regardless. I feel like it was, I mean, obviously the draft was better for Gaming Gladiators, but Gaming Gladiators showed up to play. This is a team that won the major. Yesterday we saw a different Gaming Gladiators. Don't get me wrong. Just it switches around sometimes. But this was the major winning Gaming Gladiators.
The one good thing for Beast Coast, sometimes you run into this series that you need to get your ass kicked at some point as a team to realize what the hell you're doing wrong. And I think this is the beating that they needed.
They needed this,
And this one should be a wake-up call where it's like, okay, this is the series that will like sparkle or start this talk that they need to have about their drafts. And well, I just hope that that's the case. And then tomorrow we'll see a different Beast Coast that they can adapt to it and, well, just show up better. Because in these games, they don't stand a chance, and it's not their gameplay's fault.
No.
It starts in the draft.
And it's also a part where they failed. That won't be fixed with a different patch, right? Because it will still be...
This is the one team that,
you don't think it'll fix with the patch? Surely will, because there's going to be so much chaos about, like, hero strengths.
Maybe.
Well, then again, actually, we did talk about, like, Mars not being super strong right now, and, like, if Mars comes back in the next patch, then, like, Beast Coast is looking solid.
And it doesn't even have to be known heroes. It could just be the shakeup that, like, the patch changes, good heroes become bad heroes become good, some heroes are mediocre or overrated. There's gems in there that you can find. You find that in pubs. You bring that chaos if that's your specialty hero and you think it has higher value than your opponents, they're not going to know to ban it, and all of a sudden it sneaks through and now you get some value for. But the patch has been stale in the sense that like the power levels of every support is pretty darn known. So they can knock out the first like 4 best supports for sure. So your substitutes for that just don't feel as good.
Sure. But you're talking about like the Beast Coast stubbornness to pick new stuff, right? So I feel like on a new patch, they are not going to be the team that's discovering the new gems unless they're old new gems, like the Mars. Like something they already played before, they couldn't play it on this patch,
that they're
and then
comfortable
it
with.
comes back into the meta. Like I feel like they have to get lucky based on how they've learned to play the game in the past and shown that, like, you know, Hector doesn't play Morphling at all, for example. Whereas like Tundra, that's the team most people expect to, whatever the new gem is, regardless of what it is, they're going to be playing it and figuring it out.
Yeah, I mean, they will know. They're all, I would say like 3-3 and Aoi are maybe some of the ones that will really just nail into these patch notes for like 10-12 hours, maybe with you as well, Purge. But they're going to look at that and like try to figure out what's good, and they're going to play 15 pubs, talk about it, get it together. And it's like, okay, this is good, this is good, this is good. We're going to try this. And yeah, for Beast Coast, I'm just not sure, because even now they're not flexing any heroes. And I think at this stage of the tournament, you need that.
Not just this stage of the tournament. I feel like this stage of the patch.
True,
You're at the very end. You're still
We're
not
like 2
able
years
to
in,
flex.
guys. It's time.
That's a problem. I feel like that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. They at the moment relatively consistently come top 6 to top 8 at international competition, which is amazing, and that's really good. But of course, what we're looking for is a team that can rise above that and be first, second, also very great. But they need to show that they can evolve within a tournament for that.
We're looking at them like a disappointed father.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.